Hey everybody, Sandor here. I'm getting ready to finalize my latest track, Deja Vu, so that I can send it off to distributors so it gets to you guys the first week of December on time and ready to hear. And what I'm doing today, so it's been mixed, it's been recorded to a place where I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm ready to move on to the mastering stage. This is the point in the process where we're going to go ahead and polish it up, get the levels all perfect, and just ready to go, so it sounds really good on your end. Just thought it'd be kind of cool to get you guys behind the scenes and see how I work. This is a do-it-yourself genre, so of course I've learned this stuff just kind of here and there, videos and on my own. If you have any advice for me, if you do this as well and see a thing or two that I could do to improve, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Likewise, if you have any questions or need advice, I'm here to help and happy to help you make better sounding music. We're in this together. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright, so what I'm going to be doing here is just kind of showing you the process. This is going to be a super quick master. I would generally take a few hours at this, but for the sake of posting a video for you all to check out my process, I'm not sure you want to spend that much time with me looking at me pushing buttons. So here we go. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is checking out this first mix. You'll hear this song, it's a little 80s sounding retrowave. This one has a little bit of a disco vibe to it, but I want it to sound authentic to the time. And of course, this is created all on digital software. So I like to add a couple elements in here to add a little bit of that analog character. So here I'm going to use a analog emulation of a soundboard to adjust levels. I'm going to be checking my meters, and then I'm going to be adding in a little bit of tape. So first process is to try to see, starting out, I want this mix to be around negative 16 before I enter any kind of dynamic processing. So we're just going to hear where this is at.
It's never ending. A momentary rush revealed.
You can see it's kind of pushing above 16. So I'm going to pop this one out, just lower that a bit and get it under control.
The deeper you touch, your skin reminds me like deja vu. Hypnotized by the way you move, I'm saving something.
Right there, we're peaking at negative 16. I'm going to pop this one on. I've already activated it. Just you can see it's a tape emulator, so the music is very digital, so this will kind of warm it up with some of that natural tape saturation. It does add a little bit of noise, so if you're super against any noise in your mix, this is probably not the way to go. For my EQ, we're going to pop out the Dangerous Bax EQ, which is a super smooth EQ, and it'll do the mid-side split, so that's nice. What I'm going for here is I want to bring up the beef and the mid-tones and the low end in the middle and cut some of the high, and then I want to open the high on the outside, but I want my bass to be in the center of the mix. So that's what I'll be doing in this next step.
True. Until you find the key that could release me. But you touch, your skin reminds me like deja vu. Hypnotized by the way you move, I'm saving something. True. Until you find the key that could release me.
Just a quick setting there. I will absolutely come back and mess with that. But I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit more clarity, bring up the low just slightly to give it some punch, and then a little bit of separation from that kick and bass line.
Deeper you touch, your skin reminds me.
I don't know if you can hear that on your end, but we have a really nice low end there. Just pump it a little bit.
True. Until you find the key that could release me.
You hear a little bit of mud in there. Usually that's going to be around this area. As you can see, I'm not making big edits here. Like I can put this on a larger one, but these are plus or minus 1 dB, so very slight edits on a very sharp cue. So next is really solidifying that low end. I'm going to go ahead and use a multi-band compressor. So on this one, what I'm doing here is just compressing the low end, and then giving a little compression on the high. I'm going to pull those highs up again at the end. But I just want to get them a little tighter. Mix.
Make love I can remember, giving, it's never what it seems to be. Your hands give me a rush, the more that you touch. Your skin reminds me, like deja vu, hypnotized by the way I'm seeing something true. Could it be you? Sent to release me. Your skin reminds me.
See what I did on the low end here, which is something I recommend, is just monoing that bass. So if I go on the outside, it's going to push the bass to the stereo. We want to really keep that bass nice and tight in the center there. All right. So just before we go on, I'm just going to add a little bit of de-essing just to the master channel. I hear a little bit of hiss. And the de-esser I'm using here is the Weiss DS, which is a really nice, clean de-esser. We're not going to pull a lot of stuff out of the mix that we don't want to. I'm just going to use the mastering softener here.
This path.
Yeah, you can pull this all the way down, but then you're losing, you hear all the hi-hats getting pulled out. Just want to kind of get rid of some of the high sparkle.
Like deja vu, hypnotized by the way you move.
And last is just a little bit of passive EQ to bring back up the highs, to open it back up again, and pump the lows to where I want them to be.
Some things we learn to forget, and some things we're meant to remember. It's impossible to save yourself from the trip. Give me something to remember. This path, it's never ending. A momentary rush reveals the deeper you touch. Your skin.
Alright, so now reality check. Did I actually do anything good to the track? So next up for me is I'm going to go ahead and check these out and see how the EQs are standing up against the unmastered, or before.
Give me something to remember. It's never ending. A momentary rush reveals the deeper you touch. Your skin reminds me, like deja vu, hypnotized by the way you move.
So I don't know how it sounds on your end over the internet here, but what I'm hearing is the mix just sounds a little tighter, a little more under control. Personally, I think it was a good mix to start with, so we weren't really correcting too much, just again cleaning it up. But the basses sound nice and together. It's just starting to really glue together and give us a nice cohesive sound. So next is to mess with those levels and go ahead and bring up the compression and limiting. I'm going to work with 3 limiters here, which I would recommend. It doesn't really matter which limiters you have. You can use stock limiters on these. For my massive limiting, I'm using an Ozone 9 and the Fab filter, and a little bit of CLA2A. just from waves for a little more effect, and then I'll use a bit of compression just to add some character to the mix, but that's just going to be more so because I like the way the plugin sounds. Alright, so let's pull up the Shadow Hills. It looks super confusing. Again, it's like two different compressors in one. I'm just using the discrete down here. I can switch that to optical and be using these buttons. And then this is just a different side. So a lot of buttons, but really at the end of the day, it's like they're the same thing. So really all I'm doing is looking at kind of these 4 buttons here, because I have it just linked and chained.
Something to remember. This path, it's never ending. A momentary rush revealed the deeper you touch. Your skin reminds me like.
Really all I'm doing with this is you'll notice I put that threshold till it was moving, and then just adding the character. I just want it to kind of trickle around 0 a little bit.
Deja vu, hypnotized by the way you move. I'm saving something true.
I have a long attack on this, so the mix comes through. I'm not squashing it. I'm only a 2-to-1 ratio and a pretty quick recovery.
Until you find the key.
Now for some limiting, so CLA 2A, compression or limiting, I'm going to leave that on limiting. I like to leave, at this point, the analog off. This is just adding noise into the mix, which I've kind of already done, so I don't want to go crazy there. And now that I'm really adding limiting, I'm going to pop back up my meter here. So I have the one coming in at -16. Now my goal is to end around -8 for this mix. We're at 16 before, so now I'm going to try to pump it maybe to -14-ish and get it closer to that 12.
Give me something to remember. This path, it's never ending. A momentary rush revealed the deeper you touch. Your skin reminds me like deja vu, hypnotized by the way you move. I'm safe.
Alright, I go a little bit harder with the ozone. I like to go a little light with that CLA. I can't handle quite as much. Ozone can definitely handle a lot more limited. Analog.
Who dims the light that burns my sight? A momentary rush revealed the deeper you touch. Your skin reminds me like deja vu, hypnotized by the way you move. I'm saving something.
Alright, and ending with that fab filter. This one can handle quite a bit of limiting. A lot of people just use this all the way. So I'm just going to pop this, try Punchy. It's kind of more advanced track. I don't like to look ahead too much, but it's going to squash it. Low attack, fast release. Have my oversampling pretty CPU intensive, because I can. Why not? Alright, and we're just going to go ahead and try to limit that up to -8. I'll probably mess with some other compression and limiting in this stage, just to kind of get it where I need to without adding a bunch of distortion.
True. Until you find the key that could release me. And something true. Could it be you? Sent to release me.
that's a quick master, guys. Of course, I'm going to spend more time with this mix, probably a couple days to get it right where I want it to be. Tweaks here and there. I'll probably take some breaks, walk around with my dog and hear it on headphones, earbuds, hear it in different speakers over the next couple days and just make sure it's perfect. I also think it's great to share this out with friends and just see what they think. You get a lot of feedback just from people that aren't producers. They hear it and they're like, that sounds a little off or bass heavy or whatever. So it's good to get lots of opinions, but once it's out there, it's out there. So at the end of the day, it's got to be released and it's never going to be perfect. So usually I'll do that for about a week and then whatever I have at the end is going to go out. Anyway, I hope this has been a good video for you. I'll be doing more of these in the future. Look out for Let the Radio Play launching next month, and following that is Definitive Motion. If you like this track, it's going to come out the first week of December. So, lots of great stuff coming, and look forward to talking to you guys more. Have a good day.